What's up with it, YouTube? It's your one and only Rebuke All Devils coming back to you live in the flesh, baby. I know it's been a hot second, but you know I had to take a break away from all the madness, man, and away from all the devils. Give myself some time to rejuvenate, man. And hey, we back at it, man. Thanks for still rolling with your boy, sticking around. And hey, I missed y'all. And what we're gonna do this time, we're gonna do a news smash up. You know what I'm saying? So the first story is this story right here about a Bibb County, and this is for educational and commentary purposes only. Fair use, and let's roll that clip.
Bibb County, where that sheriff's office is investigating what they are calling a child sex trafficking ring. 3 men were indicted on July 11th on charges of rape, sodomy, and human trafficking involving young children.
We do have a warning to our viewers. The content in this story is disturbing. CBS 42's senior reporter Amy Hybels joins us now live from Bibb County to explain. Amy.
Brian Jones, the assistant district attorney for Bibb County, tells me that 23-year-old Chilton County resident Timothy St. John has been charged with rape, sodomy, human trafficking, and kidnapping. He has also been charged with the additional crime of bestiality and 1 count of aggravated cruelty to animals. He is now in the Bibb County jail with the other 3 men who were arrested earlier. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office launched a criminal investigation in February following concerns about the sexual abuse of young children. On July 11th, William McElroy, Dalton Terrell, and Andre Trejo Velasquez were indicted on multiple charges of rape, sodomy, and human trafficking involving 6 children. The youngest victim, according to ADA Brian Jones, was only 3 years of age. He says the victims referred to the place where they were abused in as a bunker. Jones describes it as an old storm shelter located on this property in Brent. Jones says Mr. Trejo allegedly tied up and drugged 4 of the 6 children who were abused by all 4 men inside of that storm shelter.
The children were tied to the bed, to the chairs, to a pole, and these individuals would have sex with these children, but also Mr. Trejo was allowing people to pay money to come in and have sex with the children.
Jones says this is the worst case he's ever had to deal with.
The worst part of it and the sad part of it is the children. It will be really hard for them to ever overcome the trauma that they've had to go through in order to get to this point. There will be a lot of therapy that they'll have to go through.
Now, because all of the men involved in this case, alleged case, are ages 21 and over, and because of the ages of the young victims, he tells me that these men, if they are convicted, are facing life in prison without the chance of parole. Now, 3 of the 4 men are set to be arraigned in August and September. Reporting live in Bibb County, I'm Amy Hybels, CBS 42 News.
And you know, that is just so terrible. We hope and pray that those children make a full recovery and those suspects all get convicted and get that life in prison, you know what I mean, without parole. But in other news, we're going to go to this story right here.
The other side of the law. Thanks for joining us live at 5. I'm Jamie Bull.
And I'm Kim Anderson. Today, prosecutors offered a play-by-play of the moment he's accused of killing a man.
Yeah, Carlos Uribe is charged with second-degree murder. Today, he went before a judge for the first time.
WBTV's Michael Wark reports from Catawba County, where prosecutors are trying to prove this officer was wrong for using deadly force.
District Attorney Scott Riley put it plainly in a statement, writing, quote, "No one is above the law and no one is beneath its protection." But talking to folks in this community today, they want justice to be served no matter the circumstance. This is our first look at 21-year-old Camden Childers, the motorcyclist shot and killed by a Newton police officer. That officer, Carlos Uribe, appeared in court Tuesday facing a second-degree murder charge.
Yeah, I mean, all we can hope for is a fair and just trial. If he's guilty, he's guilty. You know, we're all looking for justice, I think. Yeah. Cops aren't exempt.
At the end of the day, justice needs to be justice. They need to let the courts do what they need to do.
Newton police chased Childers after they say he was driving recklessly without registration. When the chase ended on Northern Drive in Conover, prosecutors allege Uribe kicked Childers despite his hands being up. After Childers fell, they say Uribe shot him and remarked, quote, "That's what you get for going for an officer's gun." The state argues body cam video shows Childers never tried reaching for Uribe's weapon.
I would hope that it was an accident or, but if not, he needs to pay for it just like anybody else. Being a cop doesn't stop him from paying.
The district attorney says in 6 years and 15 officer-involved shootings, this is the first case where he found the use of force was not justified. We talked to a member of the Childers family today. They said they're being asked by their attorney not to speak right now. However, they did say that this week's indictment is an encouragement. A judge today set Uribe's bond at $100,000. In Catawba County, Michael.
And that's a pretty low bond for murder. Our hearts and prayer go out to the victim. You know what I'm saying? But it is just crazy, some of the stuff that we see that's going on in the world today. These rogue cops and, things like that is just something that really and truly needs to be addressed. And in other news...
Breaking news involves the indictment of a man who left a bomb on the Williamsburg Bridge and had other bombs around Manhattan.
Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live on the Lower East Side with these breaking details. Sonia.
Mike, the man under federal indictment is 55 from Nassau County, accused of making homemade bombs that authorities say he intended and attempted to use here in the city, including one placed directly on the Williamsburg Bridge. Tonight, authorities released this disturbing photo of an improvised explosive device on the subway tracks on the bridge. This photo taken in May of this year. The indictment alleges Michael Gann made several of these devices, ordering precursor chemicals online that can be combined into a destructive mixture, and more than 50 feet of fuses. The NYPD commissioner tonight saying this defendant allegedly stockpiled homemade explosives and traveled to New York City with these deadly devices. The FBI says the joint investigation found that Gann allegedly produced multiple improvised explosive devices intended for use in Manhattan. A surveillance camera captured him apparently carrying some of those devices onto rooftops downtown. The Manhattan federal prosecutor says Gann stored at least 5 IEDs and shotgun shells on adjoining rooftops of residential apartment buildings in Soho. But the Williamsburg Bridge might have become a target, and tonight it is not clear why. The indictment claims a sixth device was discovered there, that he threw at least one IED onto the subway tracks of the Williamsburg Bridge and subsequently lied to law enforcement about having disposed of his explosives and supplies in a dumpster. Now, there are still many questions about this case, like a motive which is not detailed in the indictment. It charges him with transporting and possessing and attempting to destroy property with these explosives. Michael Gann, who is from Inwood, Long Island, could face up to 20 years in prison on the most serious charge if convicted. We're live on the Lower East Side. Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
And, I wouldn't be surprised if he don't get that 20 years. Because you can't go around planting bombs and trying to injure innocent people and think the authorities isn't going to tuck you away for a long time, man. So, you just got to follow the rules of society, man, and enjoy your freedom. With that being said, my friend, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to click on that notification bell, man. And don't forget to leave your comments down below, man. I like hearing what y'all got to say. I like hearing your perspectives, you know what I'm saying, on the videos and stuff like that. The interaction is 100, man. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Rebuke All Devils Radio. And I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Shalom.